All right, so today we are talking espresso.
Espresso.
Who doesn't love a good espresso, right?
Absolutely.
But getting that perfect shot at home,
Yeah.
that used to mean serious investment, right? And like a professional setup, tons of practice.
So much money.
Yeah.
And so much time. I mean,
Right.
it's like you want a good cup of coffee, but
Yeah.
you don't want to have to.
Yeah, you don't want to go to barista school to
Exactly.
make it happen.
Yeah, and then the research is overwhelming.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's like
it's a black hole.
it is. It's like everyone's an expert. Every machine is the best.
Right. And it's tough to cut through all the marketing jargon to
Yeah.
figure out, what's legit and what's just hype.
Exactly.
So that's exactly what we're doing today on this deep dive. We are looking at two popular at-home espresso machines, but we are ditching the marketing fluff and getting real
Yes.
with real user reviews.
The best kind of reviews.
So think of this as a deep dive into informed coffee snobbery.
Okay. I love that informed coffee snobbery. I am here for it.
All right, so the contenders are new kid on the block, at least that's what it seems like to me, the Ninja Luxe Café,
Okay.
versus a more established name in espresso, the Breville Barista Express line.
The classic.
So let's jump right in with this Ninja Luxe Café.
Okay.
It's got all the buzzwords right. Like they really try to wow you with all the
All the bells and whistles. The sound.
features.
Yeah.
And one that really stood out was this barista assist technology.
Right.
What even is that? Is that like some kind of AI coffee wizard in the machine?
It's kind of like that, actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the Ninja Luxe Café, it has a built-in scale, and this is key.
Okay.
So as you're grinding your beans, it's weighing everything, making sure you've got the right amount, and then it takes it a step further, and it uses that information to adjust the brewing process.
Oh, wow.
So it's taking out some of the guesswork.
Interesting.
Yeah, and one of the reviewers, it's just a dad, he is pulling like perfect shots in minutes, and he even said himself, he's no pro.
See, that's what I need.
Right.
Because I can overcomplicate just about anything.
Well, this is designed for ease of use.
Okay.
And it really shows. And what surprised me even more is that it's not limited to just espresso.
Wait, seriously? What else does it do? Does it blend smoothies on the side?
Not quite smoothies,
Mhm.
but it does drip coffee. It does iced coffee.
Wow.
It even makes cold brew.
What?
Yeah, so just a dad. He actually said he was really impressed with how Ninja is kind of rethinking everything with this machine. And he contrasted that with Breville that kind of sticks to the basics.
Interesting.
And two other things that he really loved were the built-in tamper,
Oh.
super convenient, and how easy the Ninja was to clean.
Okay. Now
That's a big one.
that is music to my ears right there. Multitasking, easy to clean machine.
Exactly.
Cold already.
Right.
Okay, but let's talk about meal frothing for a second, because that's usually where I mess things up.
Yeah, it can be tricky.
Yeah.
It can be very tricky. So
Okay.
how does the Ninja handle that? So both of the reviewers we looked at, they raved about the Ninja's automatic frothing.
Really?
Yeah, and keep in mind, Tom's Coffee Corner, he usually prefers manual frothing.
Okay.
But even he admitted that the Ninja's automatic frother was one of the best he'd ever tried.
Wow, high praise.
Yeah, he said the microphone was amazing.
Okay, so the Ninja is sounding pretty tempting, I have to say. But the Breville Barista Express has been a favorite for a while now, so it's got to have some serious strengths, right? What
Yeah.
were some of the things that made it stand out?
Yeah, so the Breville is really all about control.
Okay.
If you're the kind of person who likes to fine-tune every little detail, like the grind size, the pre-infusion, the milk texture, that's where the Breville really shines.
It's more of a hands-on artisanal approach.
Exactly, though. Just a dad.
Yeah.
He did mention there was a bit of a learning curve with the Breville.
Oh.
He actually said he spent a whole day with his nephew trying to nail down the perfect shot on the Breville.
Wow.
They even brought out a separate scale and a pressure gauge.
Oh my God.
They went all in on
right.
getting it right.
I admire the dedication, but I'd probably just give up and order takeout coffee.
Yeah, it definitely requires a little more patience than the Ninja.
Okay, that makes sense. So besides that, manual control aspect, were there any other key differences that the reviewers picked up on between the two machines?
Yeah, one thing that came up was the hot water spout.
Okay.
The Breville has one.
Right.
The Ninja does not.
At least not in the current model.
Right, and Tom's Coffee Corner actually mentioned that as a downside
Yeah, he did.
of the Ninja. If you want to preheat your mug or make an Americano,
Right.
you're out of luck.
Although he did say that Ninja might be adding that in future models.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
So,
we'll have to see.
yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, the other thing that they both talked about was the design.
Okay.
Both reviewers felt like the Breville just had a more premium look and feel, maybe a little bit more industrial.
Interesting. Just Dad actually used the word industrial
Did he really?
to describe the Breville and bulky. But then he also did say that he thought it seemed more durable than the Ninja.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like the Ninja being so tech heavy, he was a little unsure about it.
Right.
But I thought it was interesting that he used the word sleek to describe the Ninja.
Okay.
Like he thought it was a sleek looking machine.
Okay. So sleek can be polarizing.
Yeah.
Because Just a Dad seemed to like that modern look.
Yeah.
But he did worry about fingerprints because it's all black.
Right.
He also said that he found the interface like really user-friendly.
Yeah, what about the Breville, though? Because I always think of Breville as like a really sleek design as well.
Yeah, Tom actually, he said that he found the controls on the Breville a little counterintuitive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said it took him a while to like figure out what did what and Just a Dad. He liked the look of the Breville, but he did say that it felt clunkier to use than the Ninja.
Interesting. Okay, so design is subjective.
Always.
As always. But at the end of the day, it's about the coffee, right?
It is about the coffee.
So let's talk about grind quality because, I mean, that's the foundation.
It's the foundation.
For a good espresso.
Exactly.
What did the reviewers have to say about the grind quality of these two machines?
Yeah, because it doesn't matter how fancy your machine is if the coffee isn't good, right?
Exactly.
So what did they say about the grind?
So both the Ninja Luxe Café and the Breville Barista Express, they both use conical burr grinders.
Okay.
Which is what you want.
The good kind.
The good kind, yeah. And both reviewers actually said that the grind quality between the two machines was pretty much equal.
Interesting. Okay, so there you go. I always thought Breville had the edge there, but it sounds like that's a myth.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Both machines made a really nice, consistent grind.
Okay, good to know.
Which is what you want for espresso.
Right.
That's key.
Yeah.
What about the taste, though? Did one machine make like a significantly better cup of espresso than the other?
So this is where it gets interesting because both reviewers were impressed by both machines.
Okay.
Tom's Coffee Corner. He actually did a side-by-side tasting with the same beans.
Oh, wow.
In each machine.
Interesting.
And he said that the Ninja produced a slightly sweeter shot.
Okay.
While the Breville had a bit more bite to it, a little more astringency.
Interesting. Okay, so both delicious, just slightly different flavor profiles.
Yeah, and Tom really stressed that both machines made high-quality espresso.
Good to know.
And he also said that, a lot of it comes down to personal preference, like what kind of beans are you using?
Right.
Even your water can make a difference.
Right, so many factors. It's like, it's an art form.
It is an art form.
The spread.
Yeah. But let's get back to the milk drinks for a second because, I think we were talking about latte art.
Not my forte.
So both Just a Dad and Tom were super impressed by the Ninja's microphone.
Yeah.
Tom even went as far as to call it cafe quality.
Wow.
Which, coming from him, is high praise because he usually prefers to froth his milk manually.
Right.
He did say he wished there was a little more flexibility with the temperature and texture settings, but for most people, he thought the presets would probably be enough.
Right. So it sounds like a good option for someone like me who wants a good latte but is intimidated by the manual stuff.
All that.
What about the Breville? How did that measure up?
So with the Breville, you've got that hands-on control. Just a Dad.
Yeah.
He struggled a little bit at first, but with some practice, he started to get the hang of it.
Sure.
Tom, on the other hand, he loved it. He loved having that level of control over the texture and the temperature.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, so again, it kind of goes back to what are your priorities?
Right, like with the Breville, you could really perfect that over time if you wanted to, if you're really into it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it really does sound like it comes down to personal preference. I mean, both machines make great coffee.
Yeah.
Both have their pros and cons.
Right.
If you had to pick one takeaway for our listeners, what would it be? What's the most important thing to think about when choosing between these two machines?
I think it really comes down to the Ninja Luxe Café. It's an amazing value for the price.
Okay.
It's packed with features. It's super user-friendly, and it makes great coffee. But if you are really after that cafe quality experience, and you were willing to put in the time and the effort to learn how to use a more manual machine, the Breville Barista Express might be worth the extra cost.
That's a great way to put it. It's really about what you want to get out of your espresso experience.
Exactly.
Well, there you have it, folks. Ninja versus Breville. The battle for at-home espresso supremacy rages on.
Always.
But hey, at least we don't have to wait in those crazy coffee shop lines anymore, right?
Right.
All right, until next time, happy brewing, everyone.